In this video, we will learn about for loop in Rust. Here I created a module for that and created a function for demo and linked it in lib.rs, then call it from main.rs. Now run the program to confirm it's working. See, it prints iterator loop. Within the function for demo, I created array of 5 i32 data type element and created a simple for loop which prints the elements from collection. The syntax of for loop is for, then the variable to specify single element, and then in and a collection variable. Here ARR is the collection. On each loop, the value of element is get from array sequentially. Now let's run the program. For that I call this function from main.rs. See, we have got printed all 5 elements. We can also loop a collection in reverse order. For that I used rev method. This rev method requires iteratable collection. Within bracket I put range of numbers 1 dot dot equal to 5. This also treated as collection. Then I add dot rev method. Now run the project and see the result. All numbers are reversely printed. Okay, now I replace number range with collection variable ARR. See, it shows error as array is not an iterator. So I add dot iter method, then rev method on collection variable ARR. Then print the element. Next, let's loop a collection with skipping some intermediate numbers. This skip may be any count. For that we have used dot step by method with step count. And now run the program and see the result. It's like a series of incremental steps. Next, we can use for loop to loop some range of numbers. To make an inclusive range, use equal symbol on end range. Now run the program and see the result. Next, let's see about for loop with iterator. Here on each loop, iter method returns a reference of element. Here element is a reference of i32 data type. You can see this by pressing Ctrl Alt, that is invoking to show hint, and run the project. See the result. Now let's learn about iter and into iter. Iter method gives a reference pointer to the element, and into iter gives owned element. Here I used iter method on array and print the before and after values of collection. Values are unchanged in both situations because we only access its reference. Now I replace iter method with into iter and create another one for loop with iter method and print the values. Here I can access values in collection after using into iter method because elements with i32 data type in array is implements copy trait and i32 is stored in stack. Into iter makes a copy of each element with ownership from an i32 array and return it. But method iter returns a pointer to an element, that is reference only, not ownership. That is, you can only have access, read access, and cannot modify it. Now let us make each element in array to store on heap by boxing the value. Box : new with value makes it to store on heap, and boxed values are not implements copy trait. Now just watch it carefully. See, on each loop, into iter moves element value out of array and used it to print. And next, when we use iter method on same collection, the values won't exist because it is moved on previous loop. So method iter shows an error like borrow of moved value array, like that, because into iter method consumes all elements from ARR. Now let me change array into vector. Array with its primary data type element are stored in stack, and vector and its elements are stored in heap. See, using vector also shows error for iter method after using into iter on collection. To resolve this error, we can make a clone on EARR before calling into iter. Now I add .clone method and now error resolved. Now let us learn about itermute, that is mutable iterator. Using itermute, we can loop the collection and modify the collection element. Let us see this. Here I created a mutable array with 5 elements and loop the collection with mutably and increment by 1 on all elements. Here variable ELT is a mutable reference. We can assign its value by prefixing ELT with asterisk. By doing this, we get inner element access and can assign. Kindly note the point. Here I used array, so it works good. If we changed the array into vector, then also it works good because collection elements remains available to iterate. Now let us iterate collection with enumerate. Enumerate method returns element and its index position. Now run the program and see the result. It printed index and its value. Once again I uncomment all the code, all the comments and run the project. Kindly go through all lines. Thank you.